pleasure.
I know you've been busy, man. I know you've been giving us music for so long, man. Some people may know you, some people may not know you, but the people that know you love you. You know what I mean? And we appreciate. I'm just gonna start it off right there. We appreciate what you bring, what you're bringing to R&B, what you're bringing to soul, and the feelings and the emotions that you give us. Overall, man. Thank you.
Hey, you're more than welcome, man. Look, I'm having fun. I'm having just as much fun as the first time I ever walked into a studio, you know? So, man, the fact that we having some great attention and great love from people, man, it's an honor and a pleasure, man. We're going to keep rocking.
Right. You know, this is, my first time ever talking to you, and I'm a fan. And, I know that you've been in the game since, what, the 90s?
Since 94.
Late 90s. And you've been pretty much, independent most of your career from Jersey. I want to tap in, this is the first time us talking, I want to tap into the beginning of your journey a little bit to give people, my audience, and folks who may not know, a little bit of insight of where you come from, right, your background. I know your father was a musician, correct?
Yeah.
Your father was a musician. Give us a little history of the type of music that was playing in your household growing up.
Well, the beautiful thing about, being in Jersey, I was a church kid. I saw my first solo in church at age 7 years old. I was in 85,000 choirs, so every night was choir rehearsal. But my dad worked a regular 9 to 5, but he had a guitar in like every room in the house, so he was just constantly always playing. It was always music in the house, and I remember my dad coming home from work with a paper bag of just albums. And you always knew that night was going to be really interesting because you never know what was going to be in. It might be Curtis Blow, it might be Kenny Rogers, Earth, Wind and Fire, whatever, So when my dad played, it just blurred the lines, man. Whatever he was feeling, he bought. It might be rock music, it might be gospel, it might be R&B, soul. But then, Jersey, when we went out partying, it was house music. When we went to parties on Friday and Saturday night, we weren't really hearing hip-hop. You really hear house music. And then you had church on Sunday, you had church music there. But then the music we were listening to, we were kids and hearing hip-hop was growing. We're like, what is that? I remember my boy's older brother was coming home from parties in New York, and he was talking about, this new music form over there is dope. And I just remember, like, getting excited about that. So the blessing about being raised in Jersey was, I think when it got time for me to make my own music, I had to really think about, man, what do I want to do? Like this, I love hip hop, I love house music, I love gospel, I love R&B, so I love rock. And it was like,
and then you got Philly and you got New York right there. So
yeah. So you had all these different influences. Yeah. So for me, I think like when I remember Tribe Called Quest was a big lesson for me because that was the first example of just saying, you can add all your influences, show it all, So, through the time I've leaned into house music, I've leaned into hip hop, obviously. Of course, soul music is more the foundation of everything. And then I went to Howard University, man. And then, of course, meet so many amazing, meet so many amazing, talented musicians and songwriters. It took me to a whole nother level, man. I realized very early on that my pen had to get way more serious, so I really dove into that even harder. And it just blessed me. It was a great start to my career.
At what age, right, would you say that, you kind of discovered, like, this is my calling, right? Music is my calling. Because I always say that, we didn't choose our gifts. Given to us. So what age for you that you, I would say that you really started to take music seriously as an artist?
I mean, I'll probably say I was probably around 13. My parents got me a sequencer. Like, they got me a keyboard where I could lay down an idea and I could play back that idea and then play something else. And that was a big, like, that opened my imagination up to, like, more writing songs. Before, maybe a little keyboard, I might just play on it for a little bit and then go on to something else. But now that I can lay an idea down and then I can play to that idea, kind of opened me up to, like, trying to write songs. But even still, at that point, I don't know if I really was able to, like, size myself up to, like, what was going on. I really wasn't around that much music, you know, or shall I say, my older sister, she played in bands, but she was my older sister. You know what I mean? My dad was a singer; he could play, but they were giants. You know, they were. I didn't. There was nobody else 13 years old with me, like singing with me at the time, for me to be like, oh, let me just dive into this. So the beautiful thing was that was what me and my homies did. We just did it. It wasn't really till I got to Howard where I really was like, you know, maybe able to see that, oh wow, I kind of could do this, you know what I mean? And then the goal now is to really test it, like really prove it. Like, can you hold some people's attention? Can you really have this career? So I had to really work on that. But it was probably around 13 years old. Like before then, I was drawing, I was skateboarding, I was BMXing, I was doing everything, drawing graffiti. You know, I was doing anything creative. They gave me that keyboard. It was like everything else stopped. It was like, all right, I'm doing this from this point on. So, and luckily it worked out.
Bless. You know, like I stated in the beginning, you know, you've been independent pretty much your whole career, and you've been successful. And you know, I think you got so stated, like, you know, you are really like like a blueprint, you know, of how to be independent, right, and be successful. What, 15 albums or so, in the game, and you know, I'm pretty sure it wasn't easy for you. You know, how did you manage to stay so consistent, you know, over the years and independently, and go up against, you know, the powers that be in the industry?
Yeah. Well, you know, the blessing of it was, you know, I got signed really early. In 1994, I was 19, sophomore at Howard. I got signed to Warner Brothers, and that deal didn't work out. And I immediately went to Island Records, and that deal didn't work out. And then I got in the business as a songwriter, and I was able to watch a lot of people's deals not work out. I watched while you got signed and you working on your album, and then it doesn't work out, and now you back home doing construction or doing whatever. And I just didn't want to be that. I was like, man, I really want to grow old doing this music. I love making music. And what do I need to do to be able to do that, right? So one part about being consistent was that I think being independent, I was able to control, like, the pace of what things were going, or like I was able to keep what I love close to me. Because I'm gonna tell you, most people that stop, me and DJ Jazz have always had this conversation. When you stop doing music, more times than not, it has nothing to do with the music. It might have more to do with bad management, a bad record deal. You know what I'm saying? The politics. Rarely does it have anything to do with how it felt when you put your hands on that keyboard, or when you open your mouth and sung in that microphone, that feeling you got when you wrote that dope line. It rarely has anything to do with that. What happens is that the politics can blur the vision of that creativity. And I made sure that I've stayed enough distance away from the politics where I can still survive in the business, play the politics, but yet still keep what I love, man. Chase that feeling in the studio every single night. And that's the overall goal. And, you know, if I feel something, we share it, and hopefully you feel something. And that's how it's been able to work. But at no point have I ever looked at a pen and didn't want to write something. At no point have I ever looked at the equipment and didn't want to come into the studio. I might not have had time to come in the studio, but no point did I ever not want to come in here. You know, so I worked very hard to keep that fresh, and realize, like, even the perception of it. I got an album called Music Fan First. There's a reason why it's called that. It's like, yo, man, I'm a fan of this first. Before any success, before any bills are paid or whatever, music saved my life. You know, my darkest moment, music was there for me. My highest moment, it was elevated through some song. So if I can provide that, so be it. Now, how do we make that survive in a business structure? Sure, we had to roll our sleeves up many times and try a lot of different things. But the main thing in it, I always tell everybody, real talk, man, we 20 years of independent music now, right? And it's not because everything we did was right. It's right. We completed everything we tried. You know what I mean? And plenty of stuff didn't work. You and I could talk about the failed records, the failed everything. We can talk many of those things, but what we talk about is what won. That's what you remember by. So you gotta throw it out there. You gotta give your best effort, man, and let the chips fall where they may.
Facts. You know, through your music, right? you've been like very expressive and on the topic of love, right?
Yeah.
And being vulnerable. And you know, that's something that, you know, as men you don't get, right, too much. You know, was it ever difficult for you to express yourself on records that way?
Nah, because be honest with you, man, I realized I remember making a promise to God that if He gave me an idea, I'm never going to shy away from it, right? Because I always wanted to keep a healthy relationship with creativity. So I mean I've written songs that got me in plenty of trouble before. You know what I'm saying? So plenty of trouble, you know what I mean? So we gotta talk about this song. What was this about? You know what I mean? So, you know, listen, man, I don't never shy away, man. And at the end of the day, if there's a level of vulnerability that we show, hopefully it helps somebody. I tell you a funny story real quick. I think it was Nashville, and I just finished a show and I was signing CDs. This has got to be like 15 years ago. And it was a line of people, you know, signing CDs. And this big dude, he had to be like 6'6". I think Demo's in here, so he'd probably tell you he was standing with me. He was like 6'6", 320, huge dude. And he cut the whole line right up to me. He said, "Yo, man, I just want to tell you, I don't know who you are, but yo, something you said on that show really spoke to me." He said, "Listen, man, I was divorcing my wife. I ain't never want to speak to her again. But somehow you made me realize that I had faults too." He said, "Yo, I'm leaving here right now to go beg for her to come back to me." And he just walked away. And it was like, that's it, man. That's why we show our hearts. That's why we show it, because even that dude, man, at 326, whatever,
You see it.
you know, it's the toughest dude. He want love too. He been
right.
hurt too. You know what I mean? We all been hurt before. That's the thing. Like, I think Bill Withers said, he said, the only thing difference between a male song and a female song is the ego.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I try not to bring the ego into the equation, man, as much as I possibly can. If I could just be truthful about what I'm singing about. And that's what we try to do.
Mm-hmm. You know, this month is Men's Health Month.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I don't know if this month is Men's Health Month. You know, and I read something the other day that, you know, it said something about like 75% of men, you know, have suicide, right? Suicide being like the biggest cause of death for men under 35 years old. And you know, of course, men, we don't, as a whole, we don't really like to talk about things that are vulnerable. We don't like to talk about being hurt. We don't like to talk about, you know, breakups and different things like that. You know, any thoughts that you could share with the brothers who watching who may have that kind of battle?
Well, you know, I always, you know, even on Lessons, we had a song called Scene, and it's talking about that times we go through broken periods. We have really dark periods. And what I would try to tell anyone who's dealing with a dark period and maybe questioning their purpose on being on this earth today is really really focus on the purpose of the season that you're in. You know, if you feel like a cloud is raining over your head right now, what's the purpose of that cloud? You know what I'm saying? It ain't to tell you to end this and it's over, but a lot of times it's preparing you. What season are you in? You're not always going to be in a harvest season. You know what I mean? And a lot of us, if we keep it really 100, our hearts, especially us brothers, you know, who have had to have a hardcore approach to everything from even as a child, you know, we got a level of concrete right here. And it ain't that easy to penetrate. So you got to get broken. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing going to grow on that concrete. You got to get to the soil. And a lot of times we misinterpret that season, that breaking of the soil, as like that we just down on luck and we ain't supposed to be here. We just ain't blessed. So the main thing is a lot of times, man, I just try to tell them to focus on the purpose and realize your worth, because the harvest is about to come. That's why you being broken. That's why you're going through it, because the clarity that you may gain the next day is going to not only feed you, but it's going to feed somebody else that you share. You know what I mean? So that's the main thing. But I mean, you know, mental health is so serious, and it ranges for different people, right? So what you got to do is you got to just definitely just try to make sure you sow into somebody, because I'm going to tell you, as a songwriter, I always tell other musicians and say, you know, we may think that our gift is the fact that we can go to a keyboard and make sound, that we can sing a note or we can write something. The real gift is that we can interpret our feelings.
Right.
And there's a lot of people in this world who may feel something, feel a heaviness, and they can't interpret what it is. So when they hear a song, they go, oh, that's the way I've been feeling. Thank you for writing that. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. Thank you for writing that. I've always felt this way. I didn't know how to say it, and your song told me how I was feeling. And that's the number one instrument. That's the number one gift. You know what I mean? Is that possibly I could put words to how you're feeling to help you get through what you're going through, and that's what we try to do each time.
We gotta break the stigma, man.
Yeah.
And as brothers, we gotta be able to be there and uplift each other. But the thing about music, right? Music brings everyone together. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
No matter black, white, Chinese, no matter who you are, no matter what color you are, no matter where you're from, everyone can relate to the same thing musically. We might sit down and have a conversation, and we may be going through the same thing and may disagree, but we can hear that song,
yep.
and that song can bring us together, and we can both see things eye to eye. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Be expressive in that way.
Totally. I mean, that's the thing. I think comedy and music it blurs the lines. It blurs the lines. Especially now. Keep really 100. If you can write a song that has some level of comedy, now you really curing the world. You know what I mean? So the goal is to really try to make sure that we blur the lines and help form of communication, man. Because if it can give somebody a level of conversation that they weren't going to have. I've written some songs that had really tough meanings to it, but yet it allowed me and my dad to maybe have a real interesting conversation, or me and my mom, or me and my wife, or me and my homies. My homies might be thinking of something and talking down about transgender, and I'm like, yo, I'll write a song about it, saying, man, listen, every person is a person. You gotta respect everybody, and they may not agree with it, but guess what? It sparks some conversation. Let's talk about why you don't agree with it, and hopefully it shines some light on different perspectives, because songwriting has taught me so much, man. I wouldn't be the person I am without songwriting, because I learn from it. I'm learning from it constantly. So I look into it that way, and hopefully, like I said, we keep the conversations going that way.
Absolutely. Shifting gears, right? Songwriting. You've worked with a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, the Jill Scotts, the Marcia and Brocious, the Music Soul Childs, 112. I love that record for 112. Like, who would you say, right, out of everyone that you worked with in your career thus far, who would you say that you feel like you had the best chemistry with?
Oh, man. I mean, well, me and Fonte, we have an album with my brother Fonte called Tigolero. And, he and I have worked on, I probably have collaborated with Fonte more than I've collaborated with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's like with my musical blood brother right there. You know what I mean? We make a lot of great music. But, of course, I've been fortunate to sing with so many amazing people. Like, when you think of the records I had with Layla Hathaway or Marsha Ambrosius, even the duet with Jill Scott, man, I've been fortunate to sing duets with giants. You know what I mean? Like, really giants in the game. And but I would say if I had to give an answer, I'll probably say Fonte, just because he and I see music so similar, and we love making music the same way. So we constantly, we got to the point where we're like, yo, man, let's go ahead and just make an album.
Yeah, that album's super dope, by the way. I don't want to cut you off.
No, thank you, man.
And the thing about it is, I slept on it. I never really, I heard a song or two, right? But I never, till recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I went to go, pull up the Lessons remix. And I was scrolling through the albums. And I was like, damn, Eric got more albums than I thought he did, right? And that one was there. And I was like, yo, I've heard a few songs of the album that I like, but I never completely listened to the whole project. And I was like, super, super dope. And, I thought you was about to come on there and spit a 16, like, what I mean? But the vibe, you guys definitely have great chemistry. Sure.
Man, thank you. But the list of chemistry, I mean, I think the goal is that when you come in the studio, you're trying to show trust, you're trying to show a level of respect. And I think everybody I work with, there's a level of that. You know what I mean? there's a million stories on Me and Music Soul Child. There's a million stories on, you know, me and Will Downing, who's one of my heroes. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can run off so many stories of people I worked with. I've been very fortunate, man, to work with people I would have bought their records whether I wrote on them or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a great part of being in this industry, man. I've been really fortunate.
20 years, man. 20 years, man. That's super, super dope. You
Yeah.
know, if you had to do it over again, like if you was able to do it over again, is there anything that you would have done differently through the trials and tribulations you face and the ups and downs?
Not one bit, man. I mean, the song tells you, man. It's like every up. Real talk. If I did anything differently, you and I wouldn't be talking right now. You know what I'm saying? If I did anything differently, my kids would be different. I'll probably have a different wife, and I'd be great, whatever. But I'm happy with my wife. I'm happy with my kids. I'm happy being right here talking with you right now. I think I needed everything that didn't work. I think I needed everything the tough days. And like real talk, I remember taking meetings in New York that didn't go well and having to get on the train back to Jersey. And those were some of the toughest rides of my life. You know, like really asking God, like, why did I do this? Am I meant for this? You know, I remember exactly how excited I had like a little Sony disc maker. I mean, Sony disc CD joint, and I'd be playing my music on the way to the train, just mad excited, playing all the way to New York. And remember coming home, I couldn't even play the music. I felt so discouraged. But, you know, I needed those because those days made me work harder. It made me be more humble so that when the notoriety, when the attention started coming, I handled it correctly. Because I know how easy it could go away, how easy this could have not happened. So I wouldn't change a thing, man. To be honest with you, I needed every aspect of it for you to see the person that you see today.
Speaking to all of the artists out there, all of the aspiring artists out there, man, they feeling that in the comments. You know, let's talk lessons.
Okay.
You know, I listen to it a few times a day. It's such a feel good record. I think it's my favorite record of this year. Right?
Man, thank you. I mean that.
When it comes to what you giving us on that record, and I'm a hip hop, you know, head, and I love R&B and I love soul, but it's one of my favorite joints, right? And then the remix comes. I say, give us lessons, and then you give us the remix, right? And
yeah,
Kevin Ross, my guy Kevin Ross, Anthony Hamilton, Raheem Devon, dope brothers, right? And then like you guys come together on this remix. You know, how did Flex bombs on this remix, right? For those who haven't heard the remix, you slipping. You know, how did, because I asked Kevin, right? I spoke to Kevin about 2 weeks ago, and I asked him, you know, how did the remix come about? And he was like, listen, I did my vocals, and I sent my, you know, I sent the record in, and then Eric hits me and was like, yo, you know, Raheem's gonna be on here. Anthony Hamilton's gonna be on here. He was like, yo, I need that back. Like, wait, he heard it, and it was like, nah, I gotta add some more to that. You know, he didn't want to saturate himself on the record, but he didn't really kind of know, you know, about the plan until after, right? And how you put that thing together. How did the remix come about?
Man, a lot of it just being fans of Kevin, of Anthony, of Raheem, and I would say I really got to put a lot of a shout out to the staff. A shout out to Sweet Locks. I see her in here now. Like really, you know, egging on the idea because you know I might be more hesitant to ask. I might be more like, you know, but if we had an idea that a remix would be really really dope, and the staff really helped facilitate reaching to the people I already had a respect for and great. You know, Anthony is a great friend of mine. Raheem's a great friend. You know, I had a tremendous respect for their for their vocals and their pen. Their pen is ill. And Kevin was somebody I was keeping an eye on. He's a young Jedi in the game, man. He's about to take over this thing, man. I think he's the next biggest artist we have. So it was a blessing to really have him come on there as well. And, man, everybody really knocked it out the park, man. Everybody knocked it out of the park, and I couldn't be happier. And listen, there's a good chance that there might be another remix in the future. But, you know, it's not done yet, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just dropping some. I'm dropping some. Yeah. You gonna get the. I'm just dropping some seeds out there. So we gonna sow it in. you know, sow it into the atmosphere. Hopefully, it makes it happen.
You know, we need a video. That's what they
see
said.
that.
I didn't say it.
I
They
see
hit
that.
me up and they was like,
Okay.
"Tell her we need a video. We need the remix video. We need the remix video."
What I would say is, I shot my footage already, and we'll see if we get some other footage from the other guys. You know, they've already done a lot, and I owe them a lot already. But hopefully we can. You know, hopefully we will be able to put the video. I think that'd be great.
Can you give us a little bit of the hook?
Yeah. Now I realize everyone let me down, led me to you. Oh, baby, all them sleepless nights, all the heartbreak I had led me to you. As if I never went through it, I'd have never found a love like you.
Yeah. I love the way that Kevin came on it. Lessons.
Yeah, man. Listen.
Oh,
he knocked that joint out the park, man. So he's such a talented brother, man. Like I said, I was really honored to have him be a part.
You know, much more success to you, man. I think that, you know, this song is resonating with people so well, and tapping in. You know, I just wish that, like, I got married a couple weeks ago, right? October 1st.
Congrats.
Thank you, my brother. Me and my lady, we secured the deal, and I just wish that the remix was out then, so we could have played that better. That was the only thing I was a little salty about. I was like, damn, this song was out a couple weeks ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
but you know, man, it's super dope record, and people are, like I'm saying, it's resonating with people, and we appreciate the lessons that you're giving us on the gram, and you're tapping in, you know, the movies and the different scenes and different things like that kind of can relate to people in a different way, and I look forward to seeing lesson number 200, 300.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You
know, dropping us those seeds, man. So we watching, we appreciate it, man.
What I'll tell you, and this will be exclusive for you. We are 3 lessons away from 100 from the movies things. We've actually done 96 of them already, 97 of them already. So we have 3 more to do before we reach 100. And we actually have a book that's coming out next month based off of all the lessons that we made over the last few months. So we have, and it's exclusive. Look, I did 85 interviews over the last 2 days. It's the first time I said it. So you got the exclusive, complete exclusive on that. You know.
Wow,
so yeah, appreciate it.
Wow, man, blessings. And this book is for men and women.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know, a lot of, you know, we had this idea of like showing like movie clips that really moved us and like putting the music to it. But then it was like, well, what if we just put a lesson to each one? So we had to really watch like the movie clip and like see. Sometimes it was very easy. Sometimes the lesson was very obvious. But you know, a lot of times I had to watch a scene like 40 times to really get what's remove the layers of like the scene to say, oh, the lesson is here. You know what I mean? So there's like some really some
teachable moment.
Tears went into that. And so I expounded upon a lot of those things as well, man. So it's gonna be a really, really good book. My hope is that, because this when I read a book, I'm writing in the book as I'm reading it, right? Like I'm constantly, no matter what, if it's a novel or whatever.
That's definitely an old school. That's definitely an old school thing.
yeah.
I guess in my book, but
so there's a little space in there for you to kind of add in. You know, if you want to jump in and you know, if you're a part of it, you know, go ahead and get the pen out and do like the aunties used to do in the Bible. Write the little clip notes in the corner. You know, whatever you feel. So I'm really excited about the book. I think people are going to be really impressed with it.
Shout out to Adam Blackstone, man. Good brother on the check-in.
Adam Blackstone, what's up, brother? Yes, sir.
Wow, man. You know, you keeping light-skinned brothers going, man.
We trying, man. We trying. Obama helped us. He put it up on the map.
Right? I throw that out there. You know, let's get into this. Like, you know, this is the point of in the show where we play this game, right? It's pretty much called this or that, right? And I know that we don't consume beverages, right? But for the folks who do, okay, we got some good water there, right? We took a shot to water. Listen, plastic is not good for you, Eric.
I'm gonna change it. This the last one. I'm done with
I
this.
just want to put it out there. Plastic, aluminum is better for you. And it's a different conversation. I'll send you the information. But we gotta, each one teach one, right? And I just learned that recently by working with this brand called Health Water that plastic is really damaging to us.
That makes a lot of sense.
This is the part in the show where we do this game, this or that. Pretty much everyone who's 21 and over, Eric does not consume beverages, right? So adult beverages. So you're gonna take the shots for him, right? So pretty much, I give you this or that. And pick one. If you can't pick one, we all gotta take a shot. I gotta take a shot too. You know what I mean?
Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. So being that you know what I mean. Being that you from Jersey, I'm gonna start with your people, right?
Okay.
Adam said box water all day. Box water.
Box water.
I never tried that box water that they got with the little drip, the black and white box water. It didn't resonate. Most of the time, we try water based on the appearance of the bottle. To be honest with you, we go in the store, the gas station, we be like, "Oh, this water looks." That's how you try new water. You be like, "This water looks appealing."
I was just with Adam. We ain't drink no box water at all. So yeah, did we have some box water there? We might have had some. No. Listen, he's balling. He might have had box water in his room. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was still sticking my head in the. I'm from the old school back in Jersey. We stuck our head in the sink. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't do that now. You know what I mean? We wouldn't do that now. But yeah, box water might be the move.
All right, cool. Let's get into it, right?
All right, no doubt.
The Fugees or Naughty by Nature?
Oh my God. Naughty by Nature, homie. Naughty by Nature.
Okay. Cool. That's a tough one. Queen Latifah or MC Lyte? This is easy. This is the
easy. I mean, Queen Latifah. That's my girl. Queen Latifah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Jill Scott or Marsha Ambrosius?
Are you really doing this to me? First, it's an honor and a pleasure to watch both of them work. They both amazing. I'm gonna go with Jill.
You gonna go with Jill?
I'm gonna go with Jill.
Okay. I thought it was a shot right there. Timberland or Pharrell?
Well, who's the first one?
Timberland or Pharrell?
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna keep it really 100. My spirit, I'm a Pharrell fan, right? So my spirit would say Pharrell, but if I'm gonna keep it if I'm really keep it funky with you, Timberland had to change. Timberland was completely imitated twice in his career and had to change his styles up to stay relevant. And so when he first did the whole syncopated boom, the whole industry bit it. The whole industry. I remember I watched it. I watched every producer go to a drum machine and literally bite him, his style. And then he reinvented himself. And I watched other producers who that happened to, and it ended their careers. You know what I'm saying? So just out of respect of the fact that he was such an innovator, I got to go with Timberland. Okay. But real talk, if you told me I could have somebody in the studio to work with, I'd probably say put Pharrell in the studio with me. But my answer is Timberland. Don't even drink. My answer is Timberland. My answer is Timberland.
Is it Pharrell because of his diversity?
Yeah, I think if he and I sat down, I think Timberland would make a beat that knocks somebody's head off, but I think me and Pharrell would make a more musical album.
You know what? You cheating, Eric. You cheating. This is a shot, everyone. This is a shot.
All right. Go ahead and take a shot.
You see how you did that? This is a shot.
But I answered it, but you blurred the lines when you asked that question. But yeah, you're right.
I'm like, wait. That sounds like both of them to me.
That was a slick way of saying both of them, huh? Oh yeah, you're right.
And it took a minute to resonate. It took a minute.
You're right.
Salute. All right, being that Jersey, right? Jersey's so close to New York. So of course, at the time you came up, we had people like Rockefeller and Bad Boy, right?
Yep.
So Rockefeller or Bad Boy, who would you choose? Who would you ride with?
You know what? I'm a Biggie fan. I gotta go with Bad Boy. I'm a big Rockefeller fan, but you ain't gotta drink that one. Yeah, it's Bad Boy, man.
Adam Blackstone, he gave me that Bad Boy bop one time. Yeah, he did the whole Puff Daddy dance and all that. I got it on video. I'm gonna send it to you. He gave me the whole Puff Daddy dance and all
I
that.
love it.
Only thing he
I
was
love
missing was
it.
the only thing he was missing was the shiny suits. That's it.
And take that, take that, take that, take
Yeah,
that.
listen. I go with Bad Boy too. I think just and I love Rockefeller and what they brought.
Yeah.
But it was just the it was the bop. It was the dancing for me. That
It's all
kind of
and it's all about the Benjamins, man. And then when that daggone Biggie part came in, you know, boom, 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 boom. Like, dude, you can't get a much better feeling, man. Like, we can say all you want to, man, but the effort that Bad Boy put in to entertain us, you know, and not just Biggie, but like, man, that May stuff. I mean, Black Rob, it was really dope. Mind you, once again, Rockefeller is phenomenal, and you know, and Jay-Z alone is, you know, I've studied so much from him, but man, it starts and ends with Biggie for me, man. You
yeah.
know,
I think
in
it was
general,
the
like,
shift. It was the shift in the culture. I think because you got to look at it like this. Right, we had the Big Daddy Kanes and we had the MC Hammers and different things like that. Right, these brothers who kind of really entertained in that way and they really worked the stage and dance right along to the music. And then that kind of phased a little bit. It was kind of something where in the '90s it was more about kind of just jumping around on stage and you know what I mean,
yeah,
kind of destructing the ego. And then Bad Boy gave us that. They incorporated that again and they made it cool for people who was, like you said, that dude who came up to you, that dude who was like 300 something pounds, right?
yeah,
Big tough dude. It made it cool for him to dance again. So
yeah, yeah, definitely, man. And I think, you know, Puffy, you can say what you want, but he's a professional. He's want to pull the best out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, so nah, man, I think you feel that when you see those records. Those records are better because of him.
Facts. Nas with
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Oh my God! All right, all right. No. We all gotta take a shot. I'm a Libra. I'm mad indecisive, but I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. What I will tell you is that I live for Nas. I live for Nas's pen, but it's Jay-Z's career for me. You know what I'm saying? So my answer would be, golly, man. Oh my God, it's Jay-Z. I go Jay-Z. I go Jay-Z.
See, but all right. So let's do this, right? Let's separate the business, right? The Jay business mind.
Yeah.
Let's keep it strictly music.
But no, even that. If I'm saying that, like, what I would tell you is that every Nas album that he ever made, because I hope for I gave you power in every single one of them. And real talk, if I'm just keeping 100, there was a lot of albums that to me missed, but yet there was always some magical moment that his pen gave me, and it got me through. I'm a huge Nas fan. Where Jay-Z had a better overall picture of what he was doing on the album. His albums were more cultivated as a full. The Black Album is one of the most best put together albums I've ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like overall, Jay-Z has been able to be as consistent as well as still giving me that pen and still giving me all the other stuff. But I don't know if I've ever, rap standpoint, seen a person put together raps better than Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like just like when it first happened, I was like, what in the world am I hearing? Like, you know what I mean? I heard differently, after that. But I can't say that Nas has always put together albums like Biggie put together albums or like Jay-Z put together albums. So if you're going to tell me that I'm on a deserted island with one of these catalogs for the rest of my life, I'm taking Jay-Z's catalog. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough answer. That's a tough. That's a tough answer. You might want to take a shot for that one, but that's a tough answer.
Take a shot, everyone. Take a shot. Just want to know, but take a shot. All right, so let's get into a little bit of movies, right? Take a shot. You taking shots of water? Cool. I'm drinking the bumble phone. Woo.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool. Like, Poetic Justice or Love Jones?
Love Jones.
Okay.
No, with no hesitation. Love Jones.
I took a light on you on that one. All right.
Okay.
My wife said it's Thursday. Take a shot. The 5 Heartbeats or the Temptations?
That's tough. I've watched the 5 Heartbeats more than 5 Heartbeats.
Okay.
The 5 Heartbeats. Nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall. Yeah, 5 Heartbeats. Right.
You know, and that's one of my favorite movies. I'm glad you. See, I really do like you because if you would have picked that movie, I don't know if I would have.
The fact that the Temptations comes from an actual true character that pulled a little bit on it, but 5 Heartbeats was a better movie. Yeah,
I had told my wife right before we had got married. I was like, listen, you gotta watch the 5 Heartbeats, like, you know, because you know she grew up, you know, she's from Belize, but she was raised in the Bronx, so I'm like me, but you know she grew up a little differently than I did, and I was like, listen, this one's the black. I'm pulling all no black card is being given.
Right. You gotta get educated on this. You gotta watch the color purple.
She loves the color purple. Right, exactly.
Yeah. You got certain movies you gotta watch.
That's one of the requirements. Cool. Let's do. I'm actually throwing this one in there since we're on music movies, right? Let's do the Jackson 5, right? American Dream, or What's Love Got to Do with It?
I'd probably say What's Love Got to Do with It, man.
Okay.
Angela Bassett doing Tina Turner. Yeah, I mean that fight scene in the limo alone, man. You know, it wasn't the best lip sync job, but she killed the role. So I had to say What's Love Got to Do with
It. She did. You know what? I'm gonna have to disagree with you. You know what though? I love the Jackson 5 so much, but the movie's just so long. That's the thing I love about Temptations. You gotta watch.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But I think What's Love Got to Do with it. You know, they were older, they were adults, so it kind of gave you a different feel. So at the same time, yeah. Somebody threw in here. I'm gonna ask you, White Castle or White Diamond?
Woo! White Castle at 3:00 in the morning. Leaving the show or the club. It ain't no better feeling in the world.
Man, you can't listen. I don't live in New York anymore. I live in North Carolina, and we don't have White Castle here. And I travel to the city frequently, you know, doing events and shows, different things like that. And that's like a ritual for me. It don't feel right if I don't leave the spot. And it's 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
You can't, and listen, you can't do White Castle at 5:00 in the afternoon. It don't make no sense.
You can't.
3:00 in the morning, it hit different. It's a different kind of.
But it's hit different. And the thing about it is, you know, we don't have it out here. So we try to go to the supermarket and you get the frozen joint.
Nah. Somebody.
All the way, man.
It's somebody eating food that was made in like burnt grease. Somebody, you know, it don't even taste good. It just the fact that this is what I needed. This is what I
need. But you know what the thing about it is though, you don't drink. And for folks who drink, it's really.
Oh yeah. I get it. I mean, listen, I don't. By no means do I look down on anybody who drinks. My wife gets it in. And I think, you know what it is, I never saw my dad drink. My dad was the wildest dude in the room, though. So growing up, my dad was the wildest dude, but he kept beers in the refrigerator for his boys. And I probably didn't realize I didn't drink till I got to college, but I was still just as loud as any of my homies.
Right.
We was going to White Castle at 3:00 in the morning, just with everybody else. It was part of the culture. It wasn't just something that I just never did. That was never a part of what I did, but yet at the same time, you know, everybody else could get right. I'll be right there with you. You know what I mean? I didn't need it too much to help me get right. I was already kind of feeling a little nice already.
White Man Can't Jump or Above the Rim?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know if I really got into White Man Can't Jump. I saw it, so I mean, I'll probably have to say Above the Rim just for the soundtrack alone.
Above the Rim soundtrack was.
Yeah.
That That's on serious. All right, put another one in there. New Jack City or Juice?
Woo! I mean, I gotta say New Jack City, man. I mean, Juice is dope. Juice is dope. But New Jack City, man. I mean, look, that's what put us light skinned people out of business for mad years. You know what I mean? When Chris Williams got stabbed in the hand, it was like we could no longer fly for a minute. But
and when Nino told him,
sit
your $5 before I make change.
Before I make change, it was over, man. It took us a long time to get it back, man.
And then the brothers like you bought it. The brothers like you bought it back.
Yeah, like we tried. But I would say New Jack City over Juice, man. New Jack City over Juice. And then Juice like, it just ended with like, now you got the juice. Like, come on, man. You could have came to a better ending too. You know what I mean? But I was going New Jack City.
I think it was you know, it's funny that I never paid attention to that line that much. I knew the line, but now that you say it to me,
like, come on, y'all could have did a little bit of work with ending it. But I gotta go with New Jack City.
New Jack City was raw. All right, cool. I'm gonna give you a bonus, right? So my last one before we move on. Michael or Prince?
Oh my God. Go on, drink, man. Go on and take a shot, Doc.
I think I threw that one in because I sweat to take it.
You're gonna get me struck down. You're not gonna get me struck down.
Take a shot. Yeah. 21 and over.
Yeah. Go on and take that shot, Doc. Go on and take that shot.
No, but the thing about me personally, Mike, man. For me. I think, and I think because Mike was most influential, I think. And Prince was really influential, but I think it's because we saw Michael Jackson from a kid. Influence as a kid, inspired people for such a long time. For a longer time than Prince, I think. And don't get me wrong, Prince, putting the purple umbrellas. Don't get me wrong, Prince was very iconic and very influential on people. But I think that, especially being, giving people sexy on records, right? Giving people those records. But I just think that from Michael just being a kid and pretty much just inspiring, generations to that.
Yeah. I learned a lot from both of them. What I would tell you is that my answer would be whoever's music you play. If you played me a Michael Jackson song, I'd be like, it's Michael Jackson. If you play a Prince song, I'd be like, oh, it's gotta be Prince.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just like they both were they just both were incredible, man. They both were incredible, and yeah, it's scary.
Right.
Good.
Everybody's penned the gems that they bought and that they gave to people, right? And I've been doing this for a little over a year now, doing this kind of journalism thing, doing my podcast, and everyone I talk to, and I've asked that question pretty frequently, or just people just giving me stories, time that they met Michael Jackson and they met Prince, and the things that they gave people that people don't even, that's not even like documented. You know what I mean? Things that they gave people that came after them. It's like more than just being on stage and being a great performer and a great entertainer, with the gems that they dropped. To people. Like I've had people tell me like, "Yo, Mike just walked up to me and said, hey," and kept it moving, and that changed people's whole mindset and really changed their careers. So, they influence people just beyond, I think anyone in music between those both that have, that we see after them have really had some influence on both. So we want to take a shot, everyone. Everyone's taking a shot. We want to take a shot. So.
Yeah. He getting right.
Yeah, man. So, my wife says it's Thursday. That's what she said. Anything that the fans can look forward to. I know you're touring. You have a major tour. Moving a lot of cities that you're hitting out there, moving city wineries, and you're going to be at NJ Pack and different things like that. Anything far as he did kind of give us some insight, he kind of did give me drop something to me about the lessons. Let's stay tuned for that. But as far as a project, an album, anytime, maybe expect
the album is done. It's gonna come out top of the year. The book comes out next month as well. And as well as maybe another remix might pop out, depending on how it all comes together. But yeah, man, we working, man. The goal is we've been receiving a lot of love, and we want to make sure that we want to show everybody the effort. We want to keep everybody moving all year. So album top of the year, man. Just get ready because I really, really love it. I have a thing called The Process. Shout out to my Process members who even in here right now. I saw a couple of them. But that's a group of people that follow me in the studio. So even though the album's coming out at the top of the year, people can listen to it right now by just going to jointheprocess.com. And join the process so you can see what we're doing and how we're doing it. Like literally watch every idea, every song I make, I give it to them as soon as I make it.
Super, super dope. Man, thank you so much, Eric. You're giving us great music and you continue to deliver great music, and everyone on the check-in, you got so much love in the comments. Everyone truly, truly appreciate what you've given and bring to the culture and continue to give us. Where's the book going to be available? Where can they
mainly they go to my website, ericrobersonmusic.com. It'll be available there.
It's a merch up there too. It's a merch up there.
Oh yeah, man.
Make sure I get the merch. I'm getting one of the lessons ones. I seen it earlier. I got some J's that match it. So y'all make sure you get that. I checked it out earlier today.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure you get the merch up there too. Eric Roberson, is it ericroberson.com?
ericrobersonmusic.com.
ericrobersonmusic.com. Somebody put that in the comments.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me put it. There you go. There. What is Eric Roberson's definition of success?
Oh man, I love that because I think it's very important for us always to take a minute to define that. And I think creative freedom is success for me. Being able to have an idea in my head and be able to chase it with no compromise for how long it might take for me to find it, I think is really success. That's what the goal I was really after. Like for me, success was when I would be able to have the equipment and the time as well as the attention to test out any idea I might have in my brain. So creative freedom is by far my definition of success. It's great that I'll be able to make a living from it, could take care of my family from it, but most importantly, the fact that I have the freedom to grow old doing music, and getting and formulate these thoughts in my brain and somehow make it musical is success for me.
Dope. How this came to my thought. How many years have you been married, Eric?
13 years.
Wow.
13 years, man.
Wow.
Three kids, 11, 9, and 5. And me and my wife have been together for going on 20 years.
Wow.
Going on 2 years. But we've been married for 13 years. Yeah, man.
Super, super dope. This is not for anyone else, right? This is for me right now.
I got you.
This is for me right now. Super, super, super dope. What advice can you give to a brother like me, right, who just got married to the love of my life last month? What advice could you give me just for longevity for
remove the scoreboard from over your head. Remove the scoreboard. It's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's about what's best for the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like early on in our relationship, just keeping really 100, we might have had a disagreement, and I would argue just to be right. Not for it to be right, but for me to be right. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. And at some point, you get to a point where you're like, what's right? You know what I mean? And really what's right is like, really, man, making her feel complete. And that's the overall goal. So what I'll really tell you is that, and I'm only telling you what my marriage counselor told me that really helped me tremendously. I wrote millions of songs from it and everything, but like, it's never going to be 50-50, right? We think that like marriage is 50-50. I put in 50%, you put in 50%. Sometimes it's going to be 60-40. Sometimes it's going to be 80-20. You know what I'm saying? But when you're 80 and she's 20, you can't be looking at it like, I'm 80, where your other half at? Come on, you got to come up. Why you just 20? Because there's going to be a day that you're going to be 20 or you 10. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know that when I'm traveling on the road and my wife's trying to hold the family down, it's probably like 70-30, 70 her, 30 me. But when I get home, maybe I might take a little bit more of the advantage. It might be 60-40. But it's never a point that when you're holding that advantage that you're looking down on another person. If you have a death in your family or you go through a certain change or a job move or whatever, your percentage might go down. But what you got to look at is that no matter what, 60-40, 51-49, 20-80 is still make 100%. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still complete if you look at it the right way. So that's the main thing, man. Just keep the overall goal in mind.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. You know, my final question for you, Eric, and I ask everyone who joins me, you know, what do you want your legacy to be?
Man, I want my legacy to be that I left this place a little bit better than when it was when I got here. Musically, everything, spiritually, everything, man. You know, that we gave some other people some opportunities. We spread the wealth. We were able to, you know, to really leave the door open for a few people. Really, that's it. That's it, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we all making dope music. We all doing whatever. My real goal is that hopefully every room I walk in is improved. You know what I'm saying? People made me better. You and I are better because we met each other. You know what I'm saying? Not that I improved you or whatever. It's the fact that we improved each other. You know what I mean? So if my legacy, if anything, I would love the fact that, man, I left it better than what it was before when I walked in. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we help some people see a bigger picture through our music. Hopefully people have a bigger picture after our conversations. I'm very transparent because I'm constantly working on myself. You know what I mean? So anything I might say of any advice is understand it's applied. You know what I mean? It's well tested. It's well. If I speak on White Castle burgers at 3 a.m., best believe I've been there.
You've been there.
You know what I'm saying? So,
been there, done that.
So that's what it's at. Yeah, been there, done that. So
that's what me and my wife, we had White Castles together.
I know that's right. That's what I'm talking about.
At 3 a.m., we on that trip together.
I love it. So that's it, man. My legacy, man. I would love to say that I left the place a little bit better than what it was when I got there.
Man, Eric, man, thank you, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for keeping it real, man. We were supposed to keep this short. You know, you've been booked and busy and just moving all over. EricRobersonMusic.com, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all make sure y'all follow him. If y'all not following Eric, right? The lessons remix is out. Maybe get some more lessons. You know what I mean? Going along in the future, the album is coming next year. You're on tour, man. Follow him, check him out. If you're not, make sure you go see him perform live, man. His show is incredible. When are you coming to North Carolina? You know, okay?
It'll probably be top of the year. We coming to Virginia tomorrow, but North Carolina will probably be. My staff probably know more than I should know all these dates, but it realistically be probably like March, somewhere around that time. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Me and wife, we need to be at the show.
Okay. All good.
Definitely, man. My brother, man. Thank you. If you missed any of the conversation with Eric Roberson, it will be available wherever you get your podcasts at midnight, man. My brother, man. Salute. Blessings to you and your wife, man. Strong, solid foundation. Blessings to you for keeping light-skinned brothers going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, my team just jumped in the comments. We in North Carolina, February 18th and 19th.
There we go.
I knew they would know more than I would. There we go. February 18th and 19th.
Yeah, man. There we go. Super dope. Yeah, man. So thank you, Eric, once again. I appreciate you, man. Much love, much love.
I appreciate you.
And I'm pretty sure, tonight through this conversation, man, some people got inspired. Some people have, been able to kind of take something, man. We inspired one person, or we changed one person's perspective, maybe on an artist on music, or another fellow brother on, on mental health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did something tonight, man. So I definitely appreciate you, man. I definitely see you soon.
Will do, man. Appreciate it. Good talking with you, man.
All right, blessings, man. Peace.
No doubt. Peace out.